All right.
Today I'm going to show you how you can germinate and grow your...
What? How's everybody doing? Can y'all hear me in the chat right now? If y'all can give me a yeah to let me know you can hear me.
Can hear you just fine. 2 minutes to go. I'm trying to get your song to play. It's still not working, but
don't worry about it. We gotta go from that. I just want to make sure this is ready to go. I know a couple people in the chat are here for the question. We're going to be doing some stuff afterwards to go over the state of this project. But let's get ready to rock and roll in 1 minute here. The question's going to be on Twitter. You still have to answer under this Discord live as far as the answer, and whoever is first on that as far as the answer, we'll do that right here at 4 o'clock.
Absolutely. We'll wait a minute for everyone to join and for all my tech to start working, because I'm having audio problem, well, not audio problems, but things like audio problems, but it's all good. Okay. Let's have a look. I think everything's still going perfectly. Perfect. Okay. We've got 1 minute to go.
I think it's time's up. Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins. You there, Jim? Now, Jim is falling off the call, it sounds like. Is everybody here able to hear me at least? When Jim gets back on this call, we can get ready to rock and roll here, but can y'all hear me at least? All right. So with Jim off this call, he's kind of slipped me up a little bit because I now have to read this question. Now, this question that I'm about to ask you, you have to listen to the end of the question, because I'm going to try to make sure, because I usually get to ask this right online and it all goes right out. I don't want people jumping ahead of the line and start answering it before it's been answered. So let me see.
I'm here.
Okay, go ahead and get ready to ask this question to people and let them know they have to answer it on Discord, or not on Discord, on Twitter.
On the Discord, yeah.
So
on Twitter. Okay.
Because I want to make sure we have a clear winner that we can see, because these people usually get it by about 1 to 2 seconds on the other person.
Okay. Yes, absolutely. So the question is, most of the US music industry had switched to 440 hertz by the mid-20s as the standard. And in 1936, the American Standards Association made the change official. What was it changed from? And was that Discord or Twitter? And you guys had better stick around for the end, even if you want to answer that question. So what was it changed from? And that'll be Discord or Twitter or both. Which one would you prefer, Andy?
Twitter.
And y'all can follow Twitter Ashley I Stevens, Stevens, to answer that question. So and do stick around to the end if you want to get it right. So we got a weird show, Andy. For people that don't know, you sent me. Oh God, I don't know where it is actually, but you sent me a package. I'm not sure. Can you give me a second, Andy? I need to find this thing.
You need to go ahead and let them know the end of this one, just so that they can answer it, because I'm privileged that people come to get these questions and win this, but at the same time, what we need to do, go ahead and give them the full question. This is going to be, are we able to record this?
We're recording now. My internet is messing up, but we have Robbie recording for us. Did you guys hear the question okay? Shall I say it again? most of
We answered
the
it.
US
We answered it.
answered it. Oh well, I would. Yeah, so yeah, the question again is most of the US music industry had switched to 440 hertz by the mid-20s, and in 1936, the American Standards Association made the change official. And I would stick around till the end just to make sure you get the answer completely right. I wouldn't be so quick. So Andy, I need to find this package you sent me. I didn't really expect
you gotta give him the end of the question. You gotta give him the question, man.
Whole thing.
Yeah, the whole thing, man.
The whole thing. Yeah.
We're recording this.
Them at
They'll
the
be able
end.
to come. They'll be able to come and listen to this. I appreciate the valuable time from everybody, and we got some stuff we're going to be talking about right now. But let's go ahead and do this question and finish it off.
Okay. So, what did the standard get associated to from 440 plus 1?
Say that one more time.
From the 440 hertz as made official in 1936, plus 1. Okay, so you can't just run in and then answer it and jump out. It has to be what it was changed from plus 1. All right. Should we give him a second?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking on my thing. I'm waiting for the first one to get it right. Y'all take a time showing that y'all got it right. If y'all know the answer to this, what was it changed from? From
not to,
440?
from.
I don't know. I'm thinking. I mean, we'll know. I'll see if these people start getting.
I think someone got. I think
Are you looking in the synchronistic? Are you looking in the synchronistic chat?
No, I'm not, because I was on Twitter. Who got it first?
It's got to be on Twitter, guys.
In Discord.
No. I think Andy said Twitter. Yeah. So what was it changed from? What was it before?
If somebody feels they got it right as far as in it, I'm checking the updates, and I'll be able to find the first person that gets this. No, Alex, you're a little bit off, man. Little bit off. It's plus 1. So Carolina's right there. It's what was the answer? What did it get changed from? Plus 1. Add one number, like add plus 1 to your answer to be able to get it like correct as far as what we're looking for. Some people have gotten it correct.
But I see people have the right idea, but I want to see that proper number. I've got the number in my head. So Carol, I think that's it.
Okay, somebody answered on the Discord, or do you see it on the Twitter
chat? Have a look on the synchronistic chat. I mean, I would advise, or someone else got it. I would advise someone to do it on Twitter. Shall I? If anyone wants to throw the Andy's Twitter handle, I would do that.
But if somebody,
you like to make it
like they legitimately got it first. If the other person, I mean, I just don't want them that they definitely are they were on the right path. And if somebody got it and answered in this Discord, I want to be fair to everybody. And if people are like, no, that they definitely got it first. So if some like that's up to you, Jim, because as I said, I haven't been looking at that. I've been trying to look on my actual profile of Ashley Isaac Stevens under that we are live right now, where they joined. And
I would think that, I mean, it's your choice as to whether it should be officially a reply on your Twitter or Discord. I think Dragonate got it.
I have Carolina getting it first. She added, she wrote what it was. She was right about where it was, and so she got it right, and she got the exact number right. It was changed from 432, and then she added plus 1. And she got the 433. I'm sorry, Rarest, if for some reason you did answer that and heard it. And, we definitely have some more things that we're going to go over here. And I look forward to having the show. But I wanted to at least do that first. And now this town hall, that's my little gavel sound, can come to a start here. And yeah, I believe there is possibly a contract that I've sent over to you.
Yeah, I mean, I got something a couple of days ago. I mean, can you give me a second, guys? I need to go and see if my flatmate's moved anywhere. Can you guys bear with me for 2 minutes?
I mean, I can try to entertain them.
Right, man. I mean, like this was all a bit impromptu, man. I mean, this thing that you sent me, so I'm a little bit kind of jarred. Hopefully, my internet doesn't disconnect. Hold on 1 second. Jack, do you know what the contract is? The thing that guy sent me. Is it okay? Hold on. Okay, hold on. I think this is it. Thank you. Oh, good lord. What the fuck is this thing? Excuse my language. Oh my god. Can you okay. So this is like okay. Alright, so this is quite heavy, man. Hold on, let me just this is weird. Oh, for God's sake. Andy, man, I know you're doing this all on the Wax blockchain and you're a big fan of Wax, but did you have to seal this thing in Wax?
Dude,
That's
my insignia.
Yeah, but like
this is a binding contract. I burnt myself a little bit.
I get that this is like a thing of that this is a theatrical thing of yours. You want it to be kind of nice and mysterious. Oh my god, there's little wax pieces everywhere. Andy, man, this is crazy. Okay, let's see what's in that.
I burnt myself doing this contract and making that insignia, and here you go. Always with you, Jim. Always with you.
For God's sake. I mean, I most people send contracts by email these days. I appreciate the postage that you did to this, but like, I'm gonna have to clean this up. Okay, let's see what this is. I hope that you redacted some of the things that we did talk about this. Okay. Do I have to read it out loud, or can I just read it in my head?
No, you got to read it aloud. They got it. I mean,
read it out loud.
Yes.
Okay. Really, Jim? Okay, we'll just go with that. We'll go with that. Of being of sound body and mind, have sat down with the artist known as Andy, aka Awesomeness. This is. I mean, if this is meant to be like an official contract for us to do these shows together, like you can't put AKA Awesomeness in there. Like that's that.
I feel like I'm known in some parts, and like so, like they might be like Andy. I don't know who you're talking, and then you're like Awesomeness, and they're like, oh, awesome. I know, you know what I mean. So that would make sure that it's
legal contract,
huh?
This is a binding legal contract. I have no idea why you would think that, like, because you're known in some parts as Awesomeness, that you could put this into a contract. When I specifically suggested for you to redact it, I mean, okay, with Andy, aka Awesomeness, and his many representatives.
And have that's not how it reads.
What?
Many. There's many representatives. Like they got, like, remember? Jim, did you fall off? I think
many.
Your phone is acting up, man. This is I'm basically getting Jim of Sound Body and Mind to enter into this contract with AKA Awesomeness over here with my many representatives. And that's exactly what's happening.
I don't know why the three manys is important. I think that the glaring thing is that you want to call yourself legally as Awesomeness. And I think the whole idea is a little balmy, to be honest. I mean, how many contracts have you written before?
This is man. Let's get what am I binding you here to, man? Well, let's get some meat and potatoes.
Okay, all right. Okay, I'll just forget this. Oh my god, there's wax on the floor. I have ironed out plans of a bi-monthly show on WIPP Discord, as well as shows to go over puzzles and book drops live on YouTube. And there is the signature. And I might have to give this a few minutes of thought. I mean, I don't know whether I can sign a contract with as many oddities as this. I mean, it could be fun. It's a little strange. I haven't really had to deal with something quite like this before. I hope everyone knows that.
No, well, I'm just saying, man. I'm trying to keep up with you. You go a little bit sometimes to some artificial intelligence stuff taking over. But what I can say is that what he just read out, the idea is this is a bi-monthly. We're going to do a puzzle once a month here for one of one. We had that winner last week. This last month here, it went absolutely awesome. I can't thank everybody enough that showed up and worked on that puzzle. Endless did get lost for a little bit, and freaking Lindsay had to start looking over him and making sure he didn't wander off too much. But besides that, I think it was a great time, and it's really kind of put these puzzles each month on another level. I want to make sure there's just as much participation and just as much fun. But this is also about this meeting. We're going to be releasing the next 20 pages of the book after the show. But also with this is like to get a feel for how the project's going. We're only in the second month. We're getting ready to go into this just second drop of this book. How the releases as far as the giveaways, and get some participation as far as what we can do moving forward. This is also a project over here at WIPP, which is work in progress. So other people that are writers that might want to get involved with a type of project, there's different type of work being done over here for putting books on the blockchain.
Actually, it's quite amazing. I mean, the whole thing. I mean, when you talk about the collaborations, I mean, I just had I have one question before we kick off the questions from everyone else. Do you mind me asking? I'm just wondering. You say you have many representatives. But Endless Traveler here says, "I am his many." Is the audience part of your representatives? Is that who you mean?
They're representing. I've been very, very blessed to have some people come in and be like, you know what, let's do this. And I even have to kind of step back after all these years, like, okay, I guess this is happening. Like, let's roll. So they have definitely upped the level as far as where I have to wake up each day, doing my stretches. I got to be ready game time. I got to be ready at 4 p.m. each day. These questions have been easier. And that's what we're about to discuss, me and you, Jim, is that you're actually doing one of these questions next month. You're going to be asking, instead of me at 4 p.m. every single day, a good little bit of people here that are in this Discord and others that are, we got about 30 people that are going to be asking questions next month instead of myself. It's not going to be any more of this possibly getting done in 1 minute anymore, just like Googling an answer. The actual people that are participating are going to be part of the show.
Yeah. Distributing the riddles is quite cool. I mean, now because everyone's so lovely in this chat, I guess when you say it like that I guess I will. I guess I can sign this thing. So I mean. And this is going into a long period in the future, isn't it? This contract expires 2023? Is that what the time span that we're thinking?
I mean, it's going to be, you get it. I mean, we didn't put that at the bottom of it, but yeah, this is, we'll be done with Synchronistic possibly somewhere in the middle of next year. That's how early everybody is. And it's setting up for, basically a magnus opus, like a big work that I'm putting out in the beginning of 2023 that I'm really launching this from. So, I mean, that's one of the things I appreciate. Some different people come to me with advice. And that's one of the things, like with how new this technology is with NFTs, that like I have a lot to learn with it, but I also have had a lot of work done on this. So there's parts where it's like, okay, that can be very, very beneficial. And then there's other things that I'm like, oh man, well, I kind of have this design with it, So, but like you have to adapt to your new surroundings. And that's part of what this town hall is about, is adapting.
Yeah. Both getting queries from people like, hey, what are you up to? and also maybe some ideas that you can use yourself. I will sign it. I'll sign it. Okay, here we go. And okay.
So now,
there we go.
Now we got to get it on to the details as far as with these questions. Like the idea with this questions next month is what is like. People have a tendency to start asking questions and being like, hey, you know, they want to be kind of decisive with the +1 or this or that and do things that make it where people really are confused with it. I'm thinking about a limit. Also, there is going to be a 2-time Jeopardy champion asking one of the questions this next month. So no pressure there as far as the questions go. I mean, you're going up against a 2-time Jeopardy champion now. He has been really cool as far as if he's been stumped on something, he's let it known. So you might be also able to stump during the month this champion and be like, he doesn't know everything.
That's mad. How'd you meet this? How'd you meet this person?
But you know, I've been blessed with a couple of different people, you know, sending out some tweets as far as, hey, y'all might want to check this out, and you know, was blessed for him to kind of look at this, and obviously he likes these questions and being kind of put on the spot. You know, Lindsay with an E, you know, was able to get that first puzzle on him, and he was like, huh, I didn't know that. You know, she gets to be like, yes. Now, but
you know, Lindsay was so good that time. She was very, 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 very quick.
Yeah, no, and I mean, even Bearcat this last time, man, I was really impressed, and that's going also into some of the puzzles and the way they were made. The guy that made the puzzle with me was on the call, and he was just like, this is going to take y'all a while, like, whatever, like, and then all of a sudden I'm like 30 minutes later, like, hey, this is done, and he's like, what, like that quick, like. So it's been impressive as far as not just to be asking these questions where when I first started talking to Dylan about doing this, like, are people going to be able to break these? What if people don't break them? Are you going to ask another questions? Like, dude, these people are quick. Like they got some skills. So that's what's going on as far as that is that, you know, I'm blessed to have some people that have that kind of knowledge and enjoy this kind of thing to be involved in it. And we have just started out as far as kind of just seeing about people's levels of involvement. You know, do you want to come and ask some questions, get some free giveaways with this NFTs and, you know, move with this project? Or, you know, you want to come once or twice a month to check up what's going on as far as where the book drops are? You decide your own level of involvement. So, but I think as it goes forward, you know, the people that are involved right now are, you know, there's going to be some other people extremely confused. I've already expressed to a good bit of people how often I get called Ashley when I reach out for these giveaways. And so, you know, getting to a time where me and you are going to talk in the future and you're actually going to be able to kind of sit down with Ashley as we progress on this mission, you know, I think that can be very confusing to people. Like, wait a minute, you know, this is not him. Like, you know, so I think, you know, the people that are here first are going to be able to see something as it grows. The plan is with my artists to have things for people that they can look back and be like, man, you know what? That was pretty cool project, or this or that, and enjoy this artwork. But, you know, it's also to try to do something bigger in the future that maybe people can be a part of.
It's really, really exciting. Really exciting. Can you hear me still? Yeah. I mean, another thing about like people being, you know, just you know, I mean, it's this whole thing of like, you know, decentralization and just complete transparency in how we do things. You know, I was talking to Dylan yesterday about like how even when we're sort of creating a show like this, you know, you can see the backstage. You know, you can see the music and you can see all the little things that go behind the curtain. It's like, it's a lovely sort of open source kind of way of entertainment that you know the internet was made for, I think, you know.
And that's, you know, going into the segue of like what this is about as well. And if anybody has like a question or something that they need going forward, as I said, we are very early on. There's only certain things. We're dropping the next 20 pages today, so that'll be after this show. we'll be able to do that. As I said, this is all also going to be get recorded. But one of the other things I really want to say about is this artist that I have working with me. One of his prints was sold this last week. He does his stuff a little bit on Rarible. His name is Warpaint, besides what he's doing with me on Wax. And that's just another thing, like whether I'd like to work with other people's besides the person I'm working right now with puzzles in the future. If somebody wants to maybe work on one of these future puzzles as an artist with me and develop something that we then are going to create into an NFT. I'm in talks with him and WIPP, making sure I'm doing everything I need to do correctly. But those are some things that I want to give out as a little prize to people that were here the last time for the puzzle drop. We're actually going to make an NFT out of the puzzle drop. And I'm going to do that going forward. They won't be part of the 12 things that people need to be able to collect these sets. But I can imagine them being some kind of trump kind of card. If, like, I can see the possibility of maybe if you got one of these puzzles just to kind of enjoy that you were there with, that it could be something to be used if some kind of month kind of goes backwards or not. That's not an issue as we go forward right now, but it might be in the future. And that might be something that is thought about as far as design.
So good.
So,
there was a little hint of maybe you reaching out to our beloved house artist Eric Stowe, maybe for puzzles as well. So that's really exciting. And
what the fucking hell is all that?
What?
Like,
oh, sorry. It's like, yeah, it's like wax.
Look at all this that I found. Look at what? Are you hiding this?
This is just wax. I'll clean it later, man. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to like listen, man.
Strategically placed behind like a couple of cushions. It's like
the guy sent me a letter.
Fool me.
The guy sent me a letter, and and it was sealed with wax. I'll clean it up later. I'm sorry, and I'll do a little clean of the place. I know it's like in a lot of little places.
Melt here and not like on the way.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it was sealed anyway. You know, it was. Yeah, it's your signature. I mean, like, yeah, you're not the one that has to deal with the mess, Andy. Okay, sorry, Jack. Okay. Anyway, what are we saying, Andy? So, are people going to be asking questions and suggestions this episode?
No, I mean, yeah, it's going to be kind of hard because, as I said, I've kept everything so secret. Yeah, oh God, see, my insignia, though, man. But I've kept a lot of things like in the shadows, and it's supposed to be what is going to happen with this drop of this 20 pages is people are going to realize real quick that Ashley has really taken on a new phase of himself, and so like within right at this drop, you realize that this is not cute. There is a cute and cuddly kind of aspect, and there's a person that almost despises that he was ever cute and cuddly, if you will. That's the only way. But so the most risque I kind of really get within this work, but it kind of really starts setting the tone of something going on even within the main character and how he's being able to tell this story. It's almost two different authors, if you will, when it comes down to that. So, which it is. So I don't know if you can talk in fourth person, but I've been trying to work on it.
I understand. Yeah, breaking out. I mean, like the whole thing. I mean, like that's the thing. I mean, you were sort of hinting at kind of like some of this character's changes and his resentments of what he used to be like, and I remember using a word that will be revealed in the next pages to come, about how he changes, and not in the best way at all. It's quite the more I discover who Ashley becomes, the more disturbed I am.
Well, I mean, it's we'll get more into that. That's why been always ready to release it this way is because this is not something. This is a pretty heavy meal to chew through, and so me being able to do this 20 pages at a time, that you can sit and maybe read 4 or 5 pages. You want to motor through it, that's cool. But if not, you can sit and be like, okay, I'm going to read a little bit of it tonight. I'm going to read a little. You got time, so you can kind of really take in what the essence of what is happening, because whether people realize it or not, I end up stating later in the book, the narration seems to constantly just disrupt the story. Like you're paying attention to the story, and this narrator all of a sudden needs to give you this insight of this story. But the thing is, when people reread this later, the narration drives this thing. And if there's so many things in it that's like, oh my God, I did not realize what was happening when that was said. So it seems just like fluff. It seems like, God, okay, back to the story. But it's relevant. Every single piece of it is relevant, just like these puzzles each day, even though it seem like simple questions, they're leading to a person's mind, if you will, and the things that interest that mind. As much as the questions that I look forward to each person ask, it's an interesting within them. I think Lindsay did the best way of phrasing it, basically saying like, oh, I get to ask somebody a question that like, can you believe that? That I enjoy and I get to ask everybody it. So it's going to be cool to see how long they get to take to be broken and what kind of questions people can come up with, like yourself.
That's it, man. That's it, and I'm excited to be a part of it, and I have no choice now. The contract is signed. I'm gonna have to find a way to seal it cleanly, and I'm gonna send that right back to you. I mean, the thing is like, as this unfolds, I think people are going to quickly sort of be aware of like the kind of the canyon of what's actually happened. I mean, and in terms of like the sort of your attention you've been getting on Twitter has been like snowballing. I think one of your last puzzles got like 50 retweets, and that's just incredible. I remember you saying in the wider context of like the NFT universe, this is the equivalent of having the internet in 1993. That's the equivalent,
and it's also, I mean, the thing is we're going like each week, each month. It's always interesting to have people come into the NFT community, because you'll ask a person after they've been in the NFT community like a month, and it'll feel like you're in your second or third year of college already. Like it's like it is fast paced and it is hitting hard. So you're 2 or 3 months into a project, and it feels like, oh, I remember that when I was a teenager. It feels like that long ago. And so much is developing that there was an aspect with this being a startup with WIPPublishing and this just getting off the ground, that this needed to get off the ground now. Could other things have been done? Possibly yes, or this or that. But I wanted this to grow organically. I think with WIPPublishing, it'll grow organically. And I think both are going to grow at a good speed that allows this technology that is developing to continue to develop to make my project and all of WIPPublishing just that much better. Like, I mean, this is only the start of where we go. And so what will happen with technology and what, like, I know even with this wax, like, I had a lot of people have to sign up for it. And so, him doing the promotion as far as an artist was on that. But too, and I really like the aspect of not saying, hey, I'm going to give you something, now you pay the gas for it. So I understand the value in it, but it just, to me as well, I want to make sure people can pass it around and give them people to.
I remember you said. I mean, like, and it doesn't make any sense to give away things for free and yet still have to pay gas fees to sort of accept them or even trade them with each other. And I think wax is a great way to go. I'll be honest, man. Like, people who don't know me too well, I didn't know what an NFT was in February. I had never heard of one. And now we're like, you know, less than 6 months later, and it's all like it's huge. I'm hearing a lot of wind on your side, Andy, unless that's someone else. Just so you know.
That is something else. We're getting a nice gentle breeze. Somebody that joined.
But I'm totally been muted. But I have a nice breeze.
That's the breeze.
Nice breeze.
That's
a nice breeze.
I'm gonna call her the breeze. Now I've got to call her.
It's not my breeze, but I just unmuted. I've been muted the whole time. You didn't hear it. There's more breeze now.
Yeah, that's
extra breeze. Hey, why don't I go outside? You know? No, I can't. No internet outside.
I just thought you just went for a nice walk as we talked right there. We can have that as a theme in the future, Jim. let's take a walk.
I'll be in Louisiana at one point. You know, we'll be doing that blues stuff that I wanted to play earlier. So the town hall is a really exciting thing. You know, the whole communitarian kind of side of things. I want to also mention that the first 20, the next 20 is being released Saturday, and there is that later on.
That broke up. Is that the?
Yeah.
Did you say something about the 20 pages?
Yeah, the audio.
Yeah, sorry about that. The next 20 pages, are they being released today? And if someone can mute the person with the breath, that'd be really cool.
I know we talked about Evening Token Smart a little while back about the drop of that book, and with Dylan getting his internet. So maybe he has his internet. So yeah, the idea I'm going to put on Twitter. Here's the drop. I think it's a night read for some people. The pond, my apologies, but you know the aspect is I'm going to get this out today. Let's get the next 20 pages. The next clues are going to be asked from some of those pages, so that'll be a part of what happens. We got a person that has 5 wins this month. I think I have another 1 or 2 that have like 3. No, I think I have one that has 4 and one that has 3. Lindsay got her first one freaking this last week and has gotten back on it.
I haven't been in the game.
She was grabbing them all at first, like when it first started last month. She was an animal and just was not being fair to everybody. It's just mine, every single one of them. I'm gonna get this one.
Enough to even say, hey, you can give it to someone else because I keep getting them. I was at least nice about it. Didn't just keep them all and was like, ha ha ha.
She's hey, you don't know. So no, she's that
Choppy audio on everyone's side, I think. Death to audio problems. Andy has been claimed by the metaverse. I'm so sorry, everyone. We had so much more planned with him. I'm really sorry, guys. I think that's it for Andy. Goodbye. No, I'm joking. Please stick around. Wait for Andy to come back. If he hasn't been claimed.
Does anyone know how to do a metaverse exorcism? That's the real question. A metacism? Like.
Metacism. Oh, how clever. I love that. A metacism.
Is that's not a thing yet?
Oh, he's back.
It came back at the perfect time for a metaverse exorcism.
What if I learned how to do my voice like that just so that I could exit each time on these town halls and everything like
Space Painter.
And that's just the exit from then on. That's when you know it's over.
It's a great episode.
You know, so I think the people that took some time, this is the first town hall. We're just as Jim was saying for a split second there, and the length of the contract that I suckered him into with my many representatives, is that this project is something that, you know, we're scratching the surface on, and I think is going to be something, if people that are listening to this or listen to it later, one of the things behind my work that inspired a part of my work is a movie called Exit Through the Gift Shop. And it's a documentary about Banksy. And it's, you know, over a decade old, but if you have not seen that, can y'all hear me right now? Jim?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly. A Banksy film, am I right?
It's brilliant in the aspect of what it's trying to teach people. And there's a scene in it that talks with Shepard Fairey, who created Obey. And he's talking about creating the symbol Obey and of Andre the Giant and making the symbol. And the concept that he started realizing, as far as if you put it out there, there becomes a point when there's people that are in the know, and then there's people that are not. Like, what is that? And you're like, oh, you don't know what that is? Let me tell you about it. I think that's what I feel like as these months go on, we're going to start to develop an idea for what we can do on the web, because there's going to be a lot of people that are going to have to catch up. They're going to start in month 3. They're going to start in month 4. They're going to start there, you know, but I want to make sure that going forward, that with this organic growth, there's people there that I'll get to say, like, dude, this has been happening for the last couple of months. Kind of cool. If you like questions, you like puzzles, you know, and you like reading, you know, come check it out. But by the beginning of next year and going into next year, I hope to make this into a bonanza, if you will. And so I look forward to the growth of this, delivering more pieces of work, and not too harsh. I don't know how I'm like reading this. So, but thank everybody for their time.
Oh, so actually, Shepard Fairey, Frank, I think is his real name. My old roommate and friend, who's an artist as well, they used to be in do graffiti shit together back in the day, and it's really fucking crazy because I used to get like random bedtime stories and crazy things from this, like my friend Eric, and because he just had met all like the random people in his life, and Shepard Fairey was one of them. But yeah, he took the pathway of the commercial way, and he was like, I totally don't blame him. And I probably would have done the same, but he had that look of like, kind of like, you know, think that it's shitty, but it was such a weird thing always, whenever he brought it up. It was really interesting. But
I mean, that whole movie, Exit Through the Gift Shop, I think by the time you get to the end of it and see what it becomes as far as that movie, I think that's the same commercialism that it's talking about. You know, I mean, that's what Exit Through the Gift Shop represents as far as anything. So I think it, you know, there is, you know, it's just very interesting as we go into this metaverse kind of reality. The writing of books, I think, will become more and more something of value that I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. It's just we are going into this digital age that'll be very interesting. How we use, just like in that Token Smart call today, how we use language in the future. It'll be very interesting when you can put your phone up and read like the words on the side of a building that are in a different language. And knowing we're just at the start of this, it's going to be interesting how language will be affected by the metaverse changing.
Absolutely, it's going to be mad. And I remember it's something you said on the call yesterday, Andy. It really kind of touched me, you know. But what people are going to be saying in a few years, like, you were there then, you know, and it's like, oh man, we were. It's, you know, it's one of those things that, like, you know, even Gary V, I'm sure we all know who Gary V is, you know, only he's just getting into like Discord communities and still doesn't know about DAOs, you know. So you know, it's weird to be ahead of the curve of someone like Gary V on some things, you know. And I do faithfully believe in Andy's projects, all of these projects that are happening, WIPP, obviously, all of these things. I want to ask, Lindsay asks, have you released the 20 pages yet, or are you holding off?
We're doing, as I said, that's a Dylan thing. That's that us with the company are being able to even mint that other book. I'm sure that's probably going on right now. But he'll be able to set that up. I'll put it out on my Twitter. We will also be minting the giveaway for the second pieces of the NFT of the Man in the Mirror, which would be basically, objects in mirror are closer than they appear. So that's where it shows. That's the reason why this artist did this piece, as far as him looking at himself in the mirror and the destruction that he was seeing. And that's why we came up with objects in mirror closer than they appear, because, as he's writing, he's closer to the end than he is the beginning. And he describes those things within the narration. And so it's seeing into that piece. It's the first ever cartoon kind of comic book gimmick kind of piece this artist had ever done. The work that the artist is doing that he's selling right now in Rarible, he did on an iPhone, like just doing it on a phone. And so it's absolutely beautiful work. He has a horse that some Zed Run people should snatch up right now. But it was all done on a phone. But I've been pushing him with each of these artwork pieces, and each one is going to be different. And the one going into the end of this year is absolutely freaking epic. I've not seen a piece so beautiful in my life. And I'm pretty impressed by it. And coming at the end of this year, it's going to be in some of y'all's wallets.
Yeah, it's. I just find it. I find the productivity of these places just so interesting. Yeah, so interesting. Yeah, so hold on one second. Okay, so is there anything else that we want to sort of talk about, Andy, before we finish up? I've got a song that I'd like to finish off with. I'm wondering if there's anything else we'd like to get.
Yeah, yes. People, that are on this call, they get to listen to it later when they have their time on YouTube. As I've said, that there's many things and many technologies that are developing. There's artists that have not come into my life that some people might be like, hey, you might want to, you like puzzles and you're an artist, maybe you want to work on a puzzle with this person for his project he's doing, So there's so many different people that I plan to meet through this project, and so many that I've met just in the beginning that I've been able to get in touch with on Twitter that have been just so awesome, as far as like, hey man, we're behind you, we're supporting you, like do this seems like cool idea and we want to give some advice. So that going into this next month, maybe we can be more involved as far as how is this project going.
Absolutely. I love that we've done that. I remember being in a meeting with you guys about a month ago and sort of saying, saying like, we don't, like it
I think at the end that cut off pretty bad, right? Is that good?
He needs medicine. No, he's been possessed by the metaverse and taken over.
No, but that's I think the people I just said, I just saw that I believe Austin showed up that got one of the pieces of Warpaint's work this last week. Endless, thank you for getting that piece in the past. I think this is going to help artists develop if we can work together. There's so many great ideas and there's so many amazing artists out there in this NFT metaverse that are going to be able to do something special. It's just a matter of one day maybe it just happening one night where they wake up to 47 DMs, like, what the heck just happened? But it is a fight. And, you know, I have so many artist friends that, you know, with this down dive as far as with the cryptocurrencies, you know, there was this robust and everybody moving into the space, and now it's a wave that has gone back a little bit. It is still coming. This is like, we might be looking at this tsunami where we're walking out and just like, why is the water just going out so far? Because you know, this is where things are going to happen in the future. It's going to be amazing in the future to read some of these books on our Google glasses or Apple glasses or this or that. So it's going to be
or with our minds within 20 years. We won't have to pay open anything.
What about our Zunes?
Zunes. Exactly.
Google glasses in your Zune? Isn't that and we all need segways. That's the future, right?
There'll be a cyberpunk future with heroes and villains alike, not giving anything too much away. Is there anything that we wanna kick things off with? I think some people might have thought that we were doing this a little earlier or a little later than we were. It's still recording. It's still streaming to YouTube. So if anyone wants to replay it that missed on anything, I can send the YouTube link after in the Synchronistic channel. Andy, is there anything that you'd like to say before we wrap things up?
No, we're going to be the next puzzle. Yes, as a matter of fact, for the people that stayed on and stayed diligent within this, I don't even know if you can cut it off if they don't listen to it live, Jim, and do a shorter recording. But no, we'll let anybody that listens to this at any time possibly. But I do have something to reveal with this next puzzle. That's a good point. Because I've let some stuff out and let people know that there's a concentration that needs to be done on the artwork of the puzzles for the past puzzles. They started looking into different things as far as in the videos that were made that were just, you know, like endless wandering off and putting on a paper outfit, you know. So what is going on with this next puzzle? I'm not actually going to be able to show the piece of the work. They have challenged me so much that when I did the last puzzle, I told everybody that this third puzzle was going to be broken in a couple of minutes. And like, I wanted it to be the quickest break puzzle out of any of the puzzles. And then with the reception of the puzzle last time and how well that went, I really didn't feel like I needed to just throw something up like a gopher ball and just see who could hit it out of the park the fastest, that would be fair to everybody. I wanted to make it more fun and engaging. So the next puzzle, I will not be revealing this next month the piece of the art. The piece of the art will not be revealed to anybody. Will have pieces of the puzzle in the video. So it will not be just one art piece. It will not be, there'll be a theme of the art, and then there'll be basically I don't want to say a Finding Waldo, but I'm already giving you too much information. So at least for the people that stick around, the people that listen to that, they're going to be on top of this next one of one, knowing what they're going into, knowing what they need to look for a little bit more, and understanding that concept, besides the people that, you know, heard that it was just all on the artwork.
Is big because we have these little puzzles of, like, you know, like the 440 hertz thing. You can listen back, Endless Traveler, by the way. And those are sort of like little mini puzzles. But the big puzzles, like the real deal, like the two that we released so far, the one with the video and the one with the cryptography, the cryptic language that had to be translated. So when is the third big puzzle? Do you have a date for us?
Yeah, that's going to be at the very end of this month. I don't see it starting to drag into next month. I think I can, you know, I'm trying to put these out in a proper manner. And also, you know, there's a lot of work, like we've talked about in the past, of involvement. Like maybe if, you know, will one of your books play a part, you know, in what we're doing moving forward in one of these puzzles? What will else play a part between other artists? So there's themes that I'm going for throughout this year as I'm developing them. And then each month we sit down and develop the product. And so I'm letting that happen naturally. So there is, as I said, a little pressure to make sure I'm doing it in a time frame and doing it on a skill level that people will appreciate. Hence why we're going to the daily questions at a higher one. But just know that that's a process that I have to work through each month. I'm blessed to have this guy named Kyle Iconic, that's in a band that has blessed me with working while they're producing their next album. And so
good.
Yeah, so I look forward to promoting his work, promoting his band in the future as far as that as well. But I'm blessed to having him be a part of this project. And the idea is like, hey, thank you. Where can we see more of your work at? And hopefully I can start bonding a little bit more, because writing, as you know, Jim, is a thing that you close yourself off from the world. And I am now at a point that I'm supposed to be getting a little bit out of that, you know, and being able to start presenting this in a different format. So that's where we're at. That's where we're going with this town hall. And I hope this next month, and people reach out to me on Twitter or reach out to me in the DMs of this Discord. And let's talk about some ideas that y'all could see as far as this thing growing, because there's no telling what somebody might say that might reach a little bit of light that just all of a sudden, just with photosynthesis, just blows up on this thing.
So I think you'll agree with me before we close off that writing isn't, you don't often choose to write. It's more sometimes that the writing gets chosen to be written by you, and that's how it was for my book as well. I felt possessed to write it. I hear a lot of this from people, especially music as well. People. The song just comes to them, and they just have to write this song into existence. It's quite it's a possession. It's like a spirit thing, almost like a spiritual kind of thing.
No,
I will.
I would agree. You're 100% right within my work as far as that, and that's also can be trying in the aspect that Ashley is in a very aggressive situation of, you know, he is not with us anymore, and this allows him to have some recognition, if you will. And so there's this mental pull of almost like, get this out. Like I need to feel, it's hard to describe, but what you're talking about, exactly some of the like kind of torment as far as having to put this down. And, you know, why am I having to do this? But it all happens for the synchronistic reason.
Absolutely. I think we'll end there. Thanks everyone so much. And while we're talking about promoting music, I will play a band that I know eerily well, and maybe a little puzzle can be if people can guess where this band are from and what the names of the members are. Then I'll give them a little link to like a lecture I've made or something. I don't know what it would be, but if you can guess the names of all the band members of this, it's quite a hard thing. If you can do it, then I can do it. Let's chill. Thanks, Andy. Thanks everyone so much for this, and we'll be hearing from you very soon. Cool, man.